Hello, everybody. Today is March 5th, nighttime. This video will be about how to resonate at the heart chakra. And I will explain what that means. I must give a lot of credit to Bodhi Mantra, someone else on YouTube, which I'm subscribed to. He has managed to put together a channel that explains the reality of our world in a way that few channels have ever managed to do. This man, I'm assuming it's a man or woman, has pretty much put together a library of information you need to know about how our world got to be the way that it is. It goes back to history, because we need to understand history, where we come from, to understand the present, and also why the present is the way that it is. This channel is meant for those that are able to seek out answers to truth about everything, because most of what we know is a lie. Check it out. Going back to what I wanted to talk about. One of the components of his channel was about Egypt and the pyramids and sacred geometry. All very important. Now, one brief section of the compilation on Egypt the pyramids stated that in the deep underground layers of the pyramids, the subterranean levels, there's an electric charge in the air that is so powerful it could literally power something up. In fact, it is so powerful there's more of an electric charge than in the atmosphere, which causes thunder. Something to think about. Another quality of these videos is that the conclusion is that the pyramids acted as a power grid, in a sense, to regulate the energy of the world, or if you want to call it differently, the Schumann's resonance of Mother Gaia, or if you want to say it differently, producing an electromagnetic field all around the earth, because the pyramids go all around the earth, around, plane, whatever that means, right? And every human was uplifted. Now apparently they were built originally, because there are multiple levels to the pyramids which have varying degrees of age. Some are thousands of years, some sections of the pyramids are thousands of years older than the top sections. So there's layers. I think there's at least 3 layers of different civilizations. But I'm assuming the ones that built them were in the Golden Age, or rather the end of the Golden Age, as it was about to descend into the Silver Age. I suppose they wanted to maintain that uplifted state of mind or conscious awakening for everyone to know at all times, or stated differently, be connected to the spiritual side. And they lasted until probably towards the end of the Silver Age, when, for whatever reason, they were destroyed. As of tonight, I figured it out. Up until they were destroyed, or as long as the frequency field around the earth was generated, society was matriarchal in nature. And what does that mean? It means then we need to understand a bit of anatomy. So our brain has a right hemisphere and a left hemisphere. One of the aspects the videos talk about is that the right side of the brain, the right hemisphere controls the left side of the body. The left side of the brain, the left hemisphere, controls the right side of the body. Well, apparently, someone who operates mostly in the right side of the brain is matriarchal in nature. And the qualities of matriarchs are that they are more loving, caring, devoted, spiritual. And the qualities of the left hemisphere are patriarchal in nature, which means you're more likely to be aggressive, show rage, have a bigger ego, and be less caring about others or even yourself, and be, in a sense, less spiritual. So the matriarch, right side, represents spirituality in a sense, and the left side, or the patriarchal, controls materialism. So I've gone through varying degrees of awakening over the last year and a half. But for the most part, ever since it all began, I have resonated at the heart chakra, which represents balance. Balance between the rooted chakras, or what's below the heart chakra, and balance between what's above the heart chakra. Now, there's no doubt I've spent a lot more time in the higher level chakras. This video is a testament to that. But for the most part, I've maintained balance. The patriarch came out when it had to come out, and the matriarch came out when it had to come out. There were times when the patriarch came out more. This was due to, let's just call it the 5G frequencies that are affecting everybody's mind to operate at a more patriarchal frequency or materialistic state of mind. While the 5G frequencies are high in nature, they have a low frequency effect on the body. It's trippy. So I've noticed that when I'm resonating in those seldom occasions at the patriarchal frequencies, which are not my natural frequencies, I lose control of consciousness. A subconscious program of anger and aggression comes out. And this affects the performance of all that I do in life. Now, while it's happening, I'm unable to control it. And it may only last a few hours, or a day, or less than a day, or a few days. Sometimes it lasts like 2 weeks. But that's like once in a blue moon. It has to be heavy spraying of chemtrails or something for that to occur. But I've always wondered, how am I able to be 100% at the balancing frequency, the heart chakra, and never have these moments of weakness, or sometimes translated as strength? How can I just stay balanced, true to who I am at all times? And today I finally figured it out. One other aspect of the videos of the pyramids in Egypt and the cultures behind them is that the Om sound, and by the way, this is also translated to the Tibetan monks. The Om sound is the sound of God. That's one of the sayings. And I kept thinking about that, and I kept thinking about that. What does that really mean? Om is the sound of God. And then I just kept doing the ohms myself. Like take a few deep breath, like take a deep breath, like, and on the exhale, just do om. I guess I'll do it right now. And do that a few times, right? A few times at a time. Take a deep breath, do the om. Take another deep breath, do the om. Just until you feel it's enough, right? And what happens afterwards? Well, I've noticed that if I'm on the more patriarchal side or materialistic side of nature, of reality, this reality, and I feel that I'm not in control of my consciousness 100%, and I do these ohms, well, what happens is the frequency is generated by the sound of your voice also reverberates through your body. Not only does it affect the electromagnetic energy that you put out, but also affects the physical body with the resonance or the reverberations within the body, because it travels within the body, right? And the result that I've noticed is that I regain full control of my consciousness. In other words, I regain my balance. I operate at the frequency of the heart again, the heart chakra. I figured by sharing this, perhaps I can help somebody out there do the same. Whenever you have a tough moment, a stressful moment, a tense moment, give it a try. See what happens. What have you got to lose?